Hi guys, welcome to episode 7 of Shan's Logic. Been on a little break for a few weeks, couple weeks,
we took
few
about
months.
15 years off. We aged incredibly well though. So if you're watching the video, you can see that we in fact still look like we're in our late 20s, early 30s. Steph's like 60, but I'm still in my late 20s.
That's pretty good for 60.
It's because she's Asian.
True.
They age very well.
Yeah.
So if you find a little Asian girl, then you know she's going to look like she's 29 until she's about 74.
Promising. Woohoo. All right, so anyhow.
This week we're going to go over branding, kind of how you develop a brand, how you would switch your brand over, why it's important, and kind of how to develop the identity behind what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. We talked about the important steps of marketing and growing your new or existing small business. So we're going to just kind of break up all of those topics that we touched on a little bit further into detail.
Yeah, so when we look at a brand, you kind of establish a relationship with that brand. And that's important because the consumers will identify with that and they'll start to fall in love with the idea. When you look at the brands that are big and have developed really strong identities, you look at things like Nike. You buy Nike shoes because of that swoosh on it. Mm-hmm. You could be walking around on Coke bottles with a swoosh and you'd still buy them because it's Nike.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Nothing about the shoe matters. None of the features and benefits. What matters is you care so strongly and you associate so well with that brand that you want to purchase their shoes no matter what they do and no matter how much they charge for them.
True.
And so other companies like, you look at CrossFit, they've developed this cult-like following because of their brand. Everybody wants to be associated with it, everybody wants to do it, and everybody wants to be a part of it. And that's how they developed this massive, this rabid following where people they only want to talk about CrossFit.
Yeah, and that's a good example of how building and creating your own brand is going to differentiate you from all the other CrossFit gyms in the country, in the state, in the city that you live in, because there's a lot of them. Chan always says it's just a sea of bananas, and you have to stand out and be that one banana.
Yeah, if you're just a bunch of bananas, you're a commodity. You go to the grocery store, and you just look at the bananas. If there was a difference in price, you just find the cheapest banana because it's just a bunch of commodities.
Right.
And when we look at CrossFit affiliates and even restaurants, dentists, lawyers, all these people in these commodity-based industries are unable to charge a lot because they don't understand how to differentiate themselves from the sea of competitors.
Right. You have to be like that cool one or that place where everybody wants to go. They want to go to your place because you have that one special, unique part of your business or your community that makes it that much more enjoyable for somebody to pay those extra few bucks that they have to come to you for that reason.
Yeah, and the way you want to differentiate from everybody is you don't want to use the same terms as everybody else. You don't want to use something that everybody else is using. So in the fitness industry, you don't want XXX fitness because everybody is XXX fitness. Or you don't want to be whatever fitness, blah, 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 because everybody's using it. You want to use terms that are that are unique and that are new. For us, we've always used Stone Age Fuel. Nobody has that name. Nobody even knows what that name is or what it was when we started it. But now that we've developed a brand identity, it makes sense, and it makes us the purple cow in the industry.
Mm-hmm. Purple cow.
And if you can tell me where that reference came from, I'll ship you a cookie and an avocado. So comment below if you know. So when you're trying to develop that brand or when you're trying to develop a new brand, you need to go back and look at who you are, what you're doing, and why you're doing it. You need to write that out on a piece of paper because that's your brand philosophy, and that's going to develop into your brand identity. Mm-hmm. Then you need to write out who your ideal customers are and how you want to be perceived by them. And once you write those things out, now you've developed what you want your brand to be, and you've identified where you'd like to head with it. And so once we have that established, now we can start taking everything you wrote about and start creating blog post ideas and content ideas based off all that stuff.
Which all comes with that building trust with your consumers and clients.
Yeah, everybody tries to live in this transactional sales world. So it's always, I have an idea and I want to sell it. It's not, I have an idea and I want to build trust and make sure people really need to be part of what I'm doing, they skip that part and they just want to go right into the transactional sales analysis. And so it goes idea, landing page, sell. And what we need to do is, in between all of that, there needs to be something that identifies you with the consumer, something that builds such a strong bond that every time they see your stuff, they click on it, they read it, they share it, and they create this huge following around it because they love what you do.
Right. So when they think, oh, I want to go and purchase, or I want to go be a member of whatever your industry is, you want them to think of you first because you have built that relationship even online, through social media. That's so important right now. That's the biggest thing, that you want them to think of you first. They're going to come to you because they've trusted you through the interwebs.
This is true, and we want to use this interwebs and the social networks and the relevant media platforms to build this following. A lot of people in the small business industry especially don't have tens of thousands of dollars to dump into national advertising campaigns on radio and TV, but they do have the money to dump it on advertising platforms that are affordable and that you can put your content on and have it read by everybody. And these platforms are going to be your Facebook, your Instagram, even your Snapchat, your Twitter, based off what demographics you're trying to target. And when we identify our content we're going to use, then we start pushing it out. And so you want to think about your content you're producing for your brand identity as something that is going to speak to the consumer and that's going to be a little bit off the wall compared to what they're used to reading. So when you look at fitness brands, it's always going to be about get fit, lose weight, the end.
Right, because that's the goal.
Yeah, so what we want to write about is maybe people are coming into your gym because they lack motivation. So let's write about that. Maybe people are coming to your facility because they don't have any direction. Maybe people are unmotivated. Maybe they've tried things 7 or 8 times and failed. Maybe those are the reasons. Maybe they're 100% depressed or their doctor just told them they have a really bad medical problem they need to fix. We need to start writing about these pains and these things that people have in their everyday lives. And that kind of comes into telling a story. If you're going to market well, you're going to tell a story to people. You're always going to tell them what you're doing, why you're doing it, and what the story behind what you're doing really is. So when we look at what we're marketing, we're always telling a story to people. When you read about the things that really reach you and really bring out your emotional pathways,
Words.
what you want, words are hard sometimes. But so what we want to do is we want to bring out those emotional pathways. We want to speak to these people and we want to identify with these people. And the only way you can do that is tell a story. If you write a 1,500-word article about the features and benefits of your business and data points and stuff like that, it's just going to get thrown away. Nobody cares. But if you write a 1,500-word article about a story, about something that happened, about a person that came in, about the ideas behind why people aren't motivated, maybe why people are frustrated and why the fitness industry isn't helping people, stuff like that, then you can create a following behind your brand because people are going to start to identify with that story.
This is on topic but slightly off, but it's a good example of why telling stories brings out that emotion. If I'm sure everybody that has a Facebook has seen it, but the videos that now autoplay with the words instead of like having to actually push on the video and play it and you have to listen to the sound, everybody's now starting to realize like people keep scrolling and not necessarily click on the video, but if the words are there, they're going to watch it. But so by that happening nowadays, people are telling stories about that video through, just silence. So that kind of thing right there is a good example of how telling a story is going to bring out emotion. I've cried watching some of those silent videos with just the words. I mean,
yeah, Steph cries with cat videos all the time.
Cat videos. It's powerful sometimes. It's not always a cat video. Sometimes it's a dog video.
Or a kangaroo or something.
Or kangaroos. Or squirrels.
Yeah, she cries a lot in videos. But so that's tapping into those emotional pathways, and video is probably the most powerful tool you have right now to develop that brand awareness and brand identity because, like Steph was saying on Facebook, you put the captions on the video and now people can read it without opening it. So they can watch it at work and do all those things when they're supposed to be being productive, but they're developing an identity with your brand rather than working. So that's really important. Your video should always have your logo somewhere on the video. The words are important on Facebook because people are going to watch silent videos. And the more content like that you put out, the more people are going to interact with your brand and tell you that what you did help them. And by the time they actually do walk in your door, they're going to be raving fans and they're already going to be ready to sign up. And you don't have to actually sell people that way.
Right.
So what we talk about this a lot in the fitness industry, but say you're in the restaurant industry and you're in the saturated market, you're a Pete's Pasta Palace. And now that you have Pete's Pasta Palace, you don't want to be the same thing as Lucy's Pasta Palace down the street and Giorgio's Pasta Palace on the other side of the road. So how do you differentiate yourself in a sea of pasta palaces?
That's a lot of pasta.
So what I would do is I would start a video talking about explaining your ingredients, showcasing some of your cooking in the kitchen, do a little behind the scenes cooking show on Facebook Live. Set stuff up like that where you're showing people what you do, interview your cooks, interview your people, some of your people in the restaurant, just talk and tell the story behind your restaurant and build a continuous story. Maybe make a little mini series off that. Pete's Pasta Palace Cooking Challenge.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun. Bring some of your people in the back, let them watch what's happening, record it, and now you've got your own reality TV series that you have on Facebook and you can promote yourself.
Independent YouTubes.
And now I think I just said Lucy and Giorgio's Pasta Palace isn't doing that, so nobody cares about them.
Right.
Everybody's watching what you're doing, and they develop that identity. So now you're at a point to where Pete's Pasta Palace can charge a premium, and now you're a 4-star restaurant simply because you marketed and branded yourself efficiently.
Yes.
But you never once tried to sell anybody anything. You just gave them value for what you were doing.
Mm-hmm. People like watching videos a lot, especially because now the social medias, the platforms and stuff are so easy to just upload or live, like you said, that everybody's starting to take advantage of it, but not enough are actually using it. Like the people who are really ahead of the game, they're like, this is going to be a good thing, So really, that's what you should be doing. A lot of just pushing out your business, having fun, what you do behind the scenes, like you said. I mean, we do that even with our kids and training and stuff like that. We do like what goes on, during practice and stuff like that, and people love it.
Yeah, they like it a lot. We show our kids, we just showcase them talking on the camera and stuff like that. Sometimes they don't say anything at all, but it's still funny and people like it because we're interacting and we're having fun with the kids.
Right.
And we're showing that our club is a lighthearted, fun environment. We're not militant in our training, and that the kids really enjoy being there, which taps into that emotional pathway. When people see that, they want their kids to be involved in a good program like that that's going to be beneficial for the kids in terms of their self-esteem and their growth in the long term.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about your branding, it's get your logo ready, get your ideas ready, but then after that, it's about putting out content and being consistent with it. So your content should be in the form of your blogs, like we always say, in your videos, but right now, I think videos are your most powerful tool. You need to learn how to use it, how to capitalize on it, and always have your logo and your brand in front of people, but don't sell them. Tell them a story.
Yeah.
Your story, you've already written it down, what we talked about earlier, about who you are and what you want people to think of you as, and then why you're different.
And there's some good things, too, that we were talking about, and this can go with any business. Local, small, even large businesses, when you're trying to be that banana that stands out in the bunch. But for example, purple cow, the purple cow. For example, would you make up your mind?
Yeah, well, I mean, the purple cow makes sense because of the book that we can't name because people are trying to guess the name.
Well, you just told them it was a book.
Well, yeah, they can. Oh, now they can Google it. Don't you Google it, people.
Cheers. Anyways, so we do a video recap every week at the end of the week of our members and what goes on in our gym. We call it the Life in the Gym videos. And it's basically just us capturing moments of people working out, people doing funny stuff, some videos of the shenanigans that go on, and any little thing that captures who we are and our community. We just compile it all together. It doesn't have to be anything long. They're like 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes long, but something like that. I mean, that can be done anywhere, in the restaurants, at what were we talking about? Like a hair salon. Have your people come in. You can do before and after pictures, or just like you and your other employees having fun. it can be used in any business really. So just capturing those moments that are unique and fun to your business and putting it out there, people are going to see that. That's going to build. They're going to be like, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. One, I was thinking just now that a cool marketing program for a salon would be Pete's Salon Gossip Hour. And you just compile all the gossip throughout the week that people talk about and put it into a 20-minute podcast.
Yeah.
You could probably do that in a gym too.
You probably could. But that's, something funny like that.
Yeah, so that develops your brand identity. A $20,000 brand awareness campaign, stuff like that is going to be good for maybe making your logo and helping you to figure out who you are if you need help. Because a lot of people don't know what their brand is or what they want it to be or how they want people to perceive it. But after that, it's about building the good content and telling stories. If you can tell a story, you're going to win every time.
Yes.
If you find, you always see this, people who tell the stories, whether or not the story they tell is true or not, are the ones who win. And those are the ones who effectively market themselves the best.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes the stories are ridiculous too. And I'm just like, oh my goodness.
It's true, but
it works because they told a story that people can relate to and make a connection with. So
and so that brings up to point 2. Right now, in the way marketing's been for the last decade, has been all about just selling, and not really giving any value. Just a transactional awareness campaign. Whereas people now are fed up with it. They see salesmen as sleazy and grimy. Marketers aren't even considered good people anymore. And now people want personalized, and they want to be told the truth, and they want to be given value.
Right.
And now with the advent of all the social platforms and the ability to push information out so easily, the media is not as important. Like, nobody cares if you write a press release anymore. It doesn't matter. Like, the news doesn't have to come to your gym because you can put it on Facebook and probably get more reach than they will.
Yeah.
But what matters is that you consistently tell a good story and that you get that story out there.
Mm-hmm.
That is probably good for branding. We're going to answer a couple of questions at the end. So we're always going to try to answer 3 or 4 questions. If you got them, comment with your question or ask it on Twitter, #ChansLogic, or you can message it to us as well if you want it to be a private question that you don't want other people to see, and then we won't use your name or anything like that.
Yep.
We're here to help out and answer all these questions. So question number 1 for today is, what are the best types of sales messages that should be added to a video? So we were just talking about telling a story in a video. And so say you have the video and you're showing a video about, what are we going to show a video about?
Ice cream.
So we're showing a video about ice cream. You want to sell your ice cream, and ice cream is a commodity. Nobody ever cares about how much it costs. They just care that it's ice cream on the corner.
And it tastes delicious.
So if you're trying to differentiate Pete's Ice Cream Palace, you would want to set up a video about your ice cream parlor, what makes it different, maybe how the ice cream's made, how you interact with people and stuff like that. But then the sales message that goes on in the video should be exactly what the video is about. And so when you see people writing what we call copy or writing in a persuasive way, they always want to write, hey, click on this ad. 90% of people won't believe what they see. And then when you click on it, you're like, oh, well, that was dumb.
Yeah.
It totally tricked me.
Total letdown.
So now your brand is going to be associated with just wheeling and dealing and not being that ethical. Yeah, trickery. Don't trick
Trickery.
people. So if your article is about how you prepared ice cream, it would be, your video sales message would be, check out this super cool article about how we prepared ice cream.
Wow. Is that simple?
Yeah, and I'm telling them exactly what's in the video. I'm not trying to trick them to click on it or anything like that. You could even spice it up and put our incredible ice cream making process.
And nothing is too silly. Like, I have seen lately on YouTube, people, and in Instagram even, people are getting ridiculous amounts of views and follows by, like, playing with, like, I saw the squishy foam ball stuff that you could, like, do you remember those things back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
It's like the foam, like, I don't even know what it was, but and squishes together, but you can pull it back apart and like shape it into different. I saw somebody getting like a bazillion likes and follows just because she is literally videotaping themselves playing with it.
Yeah, and that's being unique.
I know, and like there's a lot of that though, like Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yeah, so
That's
people,
crazy.
like we were talking about earlier, people have seen just the same old corporate monotonous garbage for so long. They want to see fun. They want to see corporations and businesses that act like people, and they want to see that there's actually people behind those businesses, and that's what's going to identify with you as the consumer.
Right.
So if you were running this fitness thing and you always take pictures of you and your beautiful six-pack abs, nobody cares because that's everywhere. But if you can run a fitness thing and you show the guy with six-pack abs eating ice cream on the couch, watching NBC Nightline, all of a sudden now, like, hey, that guy's a real person. He eats ice cream too. And oh, look, he's drinking a beer. Now they can identify with you. And so now your six-pack abs have some humanistic qualities behind them. So use a sales message that identifies exactly what's in that content. Don't sell people, or don't try to trick people. Don't use clickbait titles and stuff like that. Take the article, summarize exactly what's in there in one sentence. One sentence.
Not too many words.
Our life in the gym videos of everything we compile throughout the week. When we put it out there, we put check out a glimpse of our life in the gym, or want to see what happens in our gym, watch this video. Stuff like that. We're not tricking people. We're telling them exactly what's in there.
Yep.
So that answers that question. The next question we had is, what are the best platforms for marketing we should be considering? So this one was targeted for the fitness industry, specifically in the CrossFit industry.
So touch on that.
So we'll talk about what the best platform for marketing in what I would consider a high-end niche market in CrossFit, which is probably outside of CrossFit because of the way it's structured. And so what we want to do in this market is we need to look at the demographics, the specific demographics of people we have. Your demographics with the way this is working and the way this functions is these people are going to pay money up front and then money for a monthly membership, which is going to be in the upper 95% of anything a CrossFit gym is charging. And so the way you're going to market this is you're going to look at your demographics. It's 35 and over at the minimum. You're not going to just eliminate the college age bracket, eliminate the younger brackets. Your 35 and older are going to be the people who are really going to push into this. Probably your millennials, most likely. Or not your millennials.
Not your millennials.
Your baby boomers.
Yeah.
So what?
Few millennials. Some of them can afford it. The really go-getter, hardworking.
Yeah, you'll get young doctors
and
young professionals who have graduated and done something with themselves who are doing it. But for the most part, we're going to do 35 and older, the baby boomers, the crowd who does have money and who needs their health fixed and who are at a point to where they can pursue it in this way. And when we look at those platforms, who's on those platforms? So we have to probably, number one is Facebook. That's your market for your older crowd. That should be where 80% of your marketing goes. They are on Facebook. They're checking it out. And so you should be on there pushing all your content on there. That should be your number one primary driver for this market.
And then Instagram.
Yeah, number two primary driver is going to be Instagram. That's also aged up quite a bit. And so those are the two that I would mostly focus on. Probably Facebook, YouTube, and let's add YouTube too, because YouTube's going to get into the video market. People are watching videos, and the demographic in YouTube is pretty big, so you're going to get the 35 and older crowd there.
Yeah. Okay. So the next question is: local newspaper or radio advertising a waste of money?
I would say for the local business who does not have an unlimited budget, yes. You're going to just get a blanket demographic. You're going to get just random people seeing it, even though they're going to show you really cool, fancy numbers. But you're not going to be able to quantify where that came from, and you're probably going to waste your money. I think it's a very high-priced endeavor to go into it. Maybe not newspapers so much anymore because they're dying, but nobody reads them. Actually, it might be a good strategy if you're shooting for baby boomers.
My parents still get the newspaper, but I don't see a lot of newspapers delivered in our area. So.
Yeah, I think newspapers dead. All these newspaper companies are struggling. They're all falling apart. So I would focus your marketing efforts on getting your word out, getting your foot traffic going in local businesses. So go in a 2-mile radius of your gym and talk to all those guys and get relationships going. And then stick with your top tier markets like Facebook or your social media outlets. So like your Facebook, your Instagram for the older market, your Snapchat for the 35 and under, your Twitter for the high school market, your Musical.ly for the 12 and under, 13 and under market.
Yeah, and then radio, I mean, it's kind of hard because everybody's pretty much got, Pandora or Spotify or XM or what is it? Satellite radio kind of stuff. I don't know if that's still, but typically a lot of people aren't listening to the radio as much as they used to be. So
Yeah, I know when I'm driving and the radio commercials are going, I'm zoned off, and then I wake up and I'm home and realize that I just made it home without thinking about driving, which is also scary.
he doesn't drive.
But yeah, I also try not to drive. I only use
I
black car.
drive.
I only use black car service. Just kidding.
Orange.
Steph likes to drive. So last question is, we're kind of talking about how important is a .com in comparison to like a .fit or a .wow or a .blah blah blah, whatever your your specialty is or your fancy domain names. I would say that a lot of these fancy domain names that are coming out, like your .fit, your .live or whatever, are pretty new. They're also kind of expensive to buy and maintain. So I really wouldn't actually shoot for them. I just stick with your .com. It's highly recognizable and it's out there. If you do have the money to throw around, maybe buy one other, but don't get in the game of buying 37 different domain names. If you do have them, they're all going to point to the same place anyway. So if you have .fitness and then .com, maybe that's okay. I wouldn't get any more than 2 though. Don't depend on the specialty URLs. Just stick with the tried and true .com if you're in the US, or if you have another domain extension like .ca or .nl or whatever you use. Right, Steph?
Right.
Okay.
Definitely.
Good talk.
Yeah. All right. So that's episode 7 of the Trans Logic. We'll be more consistent now that we're a little less busy with traveling and whatnot. So make sure you guys spit out some questions for us, post them on the comments, send us messages, #TransLogic. We want to hear from you guys and what you guys need help with for marketing and branding and building a business if you're getting ready to open something or need help building your current business.
Yeah, comment on our things, talk to us. It really helps us want to keep this project going and keep moving it forward if we actually hear from you. If you just listen and don't say anything, then we don't know if we have a lot of engagement and stuff like that. We got a lot of comments and things about it when we didn't do it for a couple weeks, so then we realized there were a lot of listeners. So get in there and comment with us, talk to us, engage with us, good or bad. If you don't like something we say, we'll talk about it. We can have a fun, rational conversation. It's exciting. So really just engage with us, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you're at. Just shoot us a message. Tell us you like it. Tell us you didn't like it. Ask a question about something we talked about that you want elaborated further. Pretty much anything. We're here for you.
Yep. Thanks for watching.
See you next week.